Hi everybody, welcome. US Geoguessr professor here. I'm just going to play some rounds in America. Why not? On my favorite settings, no move, no time limit. Shout out GeoGamr for this map, one of my favorites, America's Top 200. For an urban map though, I found this one's pretty challenging. Get a lot of these kind of like suburban rounds like we are thrust into on our first drop. What am I seeing? I am seeing some very high numbers. I'm seeing a Texas Rangers sign. I'm seeing some Texas plates. This Texas denizen loves Jeep Wranglers. God, they love them. Things are sandy in the soil a little bit. It's green. It's not too brown in terms of our relative aridity, shall we say, in Texas. I don't know why, but a lot of times I use the brownness or dryness of the grass and soil to locate me in Texas. And like, here's what I mean by that. Like, no way we're in Lubbock or Midland or somewhere like that, right? Amarillo, that would be much, much drier. El Paso would be much, much drier as well. I would also expect somewhere like San Antonio or Austin to be much, much drier than this, at least browner. I think we get this level of greenness in Houston, but given the Rangers flag here and then your TCU flag across the street, I got to say we're in DFW, right? And the humongous numbers would support that. So let's see, we're going north. Okay, so these numbers are going north, 11,436. That would lead me to believe that maybe we're up by like Plano or Richardson, somewhere like that. Very, very high up in terms of the numbers. Let me take a look and see if there is any way I might be able to, like here in far north Dallas, let me see if I can get some numbers. Here we're looking at a 177. Okay, so that's a 177 north. If we are still in Dallas, we're going to be farther down. We're going to be maybe like here. But of course, we're probably like in a suburb. I will hedge somewhere like up here. Coppell, Irving. Let's go Irving. Okay, nice. Good way to start. I'm not mad at that. We were actually, I think, in Keller, Texas. But unless I was very, very confident we were on the Fort Worth side and we were actually in the city of Fort Worth, I didn't see anything that would have indicated that. Okay, good way to start. 20 miles away, though. That shows you how huge the Dallas Metroplex really is. Okay, here's what I'm talking about on some of the difficult no moving rounds. On GeoGamr's map here, we're in a parking lot. And we're in a parking lot where we're really, really getting no clues. We're getting almost nothing. Almost nothing. We have some low, mid-century kind of architecture, I would say. I would call these houses like 50s, 60s. They're like these low ranch brick style houses. That's the only thing that's looking noteworthy to me right now. There is an area code on these dumpsters. It looks from this angle like it starts with a 7. I don't think that's reliable enough to really trust or go off of. And I'm not getting anything off of this shipping container, I don't think. I can't read this. It looks like there's another area code, but it also looks like that area code might be like an 800. Just too blurry to tell at this distance. All right, this is either going to be really embarrassing or this is going to make me look like a genius. Because the only thing I'm going off of is vibes here. And the only vibes I'm getting is that these look like suburban Chicago houses. I don't know what it is about them. Probably the like 50s, 60s brick vibe. I just think we're somewhere in Chicagoland. I really do. Look at how worn this back parking lot is. We're somewhere where it really snows a lot. And we're somewhere where there's not a great deal of like infrastructure. Problematic infrastructure. Low brand. I combined two words there. Brick ranch houses. I don't know why, but these just make me think of like O'Hare houses. Park Ridge. Somewhere like Park Ridge. Oh! You saw that. I told you it was either going to be good, genius level plonk, or it was going to be terrible. I don't know. Some of you watching, you might not. You'll be like, of course that was Harlem and Foster and Chicago, but that just 100% vibes and 2.6 miles away. Wow. So that looks like city of Chicago still, yeah. And judging by the lack of funds for infrastructure, maybe I should have gone a little bit closer to the city. But, whew, tell you, solid way to start. I'll take it. Let's hopefully continue this way, shall we? Southeast 14th Street. Culver's. Hey, Culver's. All right, so Culver's is if you don't know, a frozen custard and cheese curd fast food place that originated in Wisconsin. There are no come and goes in Wisconsin, though, to my knowledge. There's also very few Iowa plates like this in Wisconsin. So I'm going to go Iowa before I look around more. 69 vapor. That looks like an Illinois plate. That plate has no front. Very interesting. Menards, that's another Wisconsin sign. Menards are, of course, like all over the Midwest. We even have them here in southern West Virginia, of all places. But I believe they originated either in Wisconsin or Minnesota. Probably Wisconsin. I'm almost positive they're a Wisconsin thing. I-69, huh? Aldi there. I tell you, that really, really, really looks like an Iowa plate. These look like Illinois plates. And Illinois or Iowa would make sense with a come and go. Come and goes are like Missouri, if I'm not mistaken. They're kind of like Missouri chain. And if we are in Iowa, why would this say 69? There's no 69 in Iowa. I'm getting a lot of mixed signals on this round. This one is difficult. There is a US 69 that goes through Iowa. That's interesting. Okay, but see, yeah, it almost looks like it is an interstate shield. Deal and Southeast 14th. I'm going to go in on Ames, Iowa. Southeast 14th. I see Southeast 16th. Where is Deal? Duff and Southeast 16th. Why do I think this is Iowa? It's the Illinois plates, the come and go, the Menards, the 69. The other thing that's getting me is that we might be looking at Interstate 69. And in that case, we would be nowhere near Iowa, right? We would be over here in like Fort Wayne or somewhere like that. So could that be where we might be plonked? Really grasping at straws here. In Illinois in Iowa, we would not be getting this many fronts. Is food a problem for you? No, fortunately, and I can't read any of the rest of that sign. Stony Point Plaza. This is a slow round. I'm sorry, viewers. I'm really trying to take everything in. That also looks like an Iowa plate. It really, really does. But I'm getting a mix. I'm getting a mix of Illinois and Iowa. So could we be in Davenport or somewhere like this? It's not a place where I normally am very much. It's certainly possible. The Southeast 14th, though, the blue signs, the directionals, I'm going to go in on Des Moines. Southeast 14th. I know there's weird directionals. And by weird, I mean they start over. So could we be somewhere? Deal. Southeast 14th. Southeast 14th is going north-south. Southeast 14th. Okay, there's southeast. Here's 69. Is 69 also 14th? It is. And it's also 69. And there's a Culver's. And there's Route 69 Vapor. Okay. Des Moines, Iowa. We'll send it here in a second. Southeast 14th and deal. It took me a while to get there, but I talked some things out. Proud of myself. First 5K of the seed. Des Moines, Iowa. This drop will not be as kind to me. All right, I got 3 good rounds going. I got to collect myself, and let's try to do this. We have what looks like a sign that is fairly. It's either no, it's not a distinctive sign. I'm looking at the window there. It's a sign that is fairly nondescript, unfortunately. We have a bin. The bin also looks fairly nondescript. What is that flag? Wow, it's red? Huh. That's a strange flag. We have either a concrete or a wooden pole. We have what looks to be mostly no fronts. And I guess by mostly, I mean we have one example to go off of. We have one car lacking a front. This is very suburban. To put it rather obviously, is that a little free library here? It looks to be too close to the road almost. This is going to be vibes. This is going to be pure vibes. And it's going to be a difficult guess. What am I getting off of that street sign? I'm getting blue. Almost. I'm getting blue, but it might be green. It's hard to tell from this distance, really. I'm also getting a fire hydrant that those colors don't really mean anything to me. And I found that fire hydrant colors are very unreliable. They really are. This flag is what's bugging me. What could that flag be all about? It's like black and red. It's a flag I've never really seen before. We have some relatively mature trees. I would say not relatively even. I would say some very mature trees. So we are in a neighborhood that is pretty old, I would say. It's a dense suburban neighborhood. It's one that looks rather hilly. It's not... I gotta say, my first instinct was Ohio, but the more I look at it, the more I do not think this is Ohio. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. I really don't know why. I really don't know why. It was actually Toledo, Ohio. Okay. Oregon, Ohio. Why did I not go Ohio? It certainly did not look Toledo. And I know now that in Oregon they have those blue signs, which makes sense. But that was a very difficult round. I hope you will forgive me from like being unconfident. I said Ohio. I mean, that was my first instinct, and I really should have gone with it. 876, 702, 702. That is, I'm almost positive, a Las Vegas area code, and this looks to be Las Vegas. I think these are Nevada plates. I think the 702 is a Vegas. Quest Drape. Interesting. Yeah, I would say this looks Vegas-y. We're looking south towards the Strip. Probably. Or maybe even south towards downtown Vegas. Let's go like right about here. We were looking at like the south end of the Strip. Okay, well, the only one I feel bad about, 23086, is the Ohio round, when really, like, that's what I was thinking. But the more I talked myself out of it, the more I went a little bit farther east. I went into a state that I think would have looked a lot like that, and would have definitely had the blue signs. Those Oregon, Ohio signs definitely fooled me. But thank you for watching. I still am pretty proud of this round. I hope you learned something about urban America in the process, and I hope to see you in my next video.